About time, right, Jason? It's been a while, man.
Way too long. Off we go from Value City Arena, and this is the South Florida transfer, Xavier Castaneda for Akron, which was 15-8 last year and fell in the semifinals of the MAC tournament. This is a very talented group, and that number 4 who just had the ball, Brian Trimble Jr., is one of the top shooters not only in the MAC, but in the country. Enrique Freeman posting up for the first 2 for Akron.
Jason, I think it's important to point out this game doesn't happen if not for the connection between John Gross and Chris Holtmann, both professionally and personally. This is a really good Akron team. It's going to test this Ohio State starting 5 very much.
Yeah, much more of a challenge than some Power 5 Power Conference teams are seeing this first Tuesday of the college basketball season. And how about this, forcing Ohio State and Michi Johnson all the way back to the arc. Here is the Penn State transfer, Wheeler, giving it up late shot clock. Second chance for the Buckeyes, and Liddell, who misses right on the doorstep.
You have to wonder how much this Akron team got from that West Virginia exhibition.
Well, the shooting wasn't necessarily beautiful. Very well, they've coached together, they've played in college together.
They played in college together. John Gross hired Chris Holtmann to be his assistant at Ohio, so a deep connection, some way demeaning. I don't know how solid is demeaning. That's the kind of guy you want on your team if you want to play at a high level.
Yeah, you know how that sounds. It sounds like when you call somebody a good guy and that means you don't have anything nicer to...
Poise and a polish that most just don't.
He's done an outstanding job at Ohio State following Thad Matta as a block there for Akron, and we go the other way. There's the lob on the back end.
Not played together. You bring a guy like Jamari Wheeler in, doesn't really have that consistency yet with this group. But you often hear everybody say as they give up an easy one to the basket around each other, you know what each other's thinking.
You finish each other's sandwiches.
Oh, well done. That's what I was going to say.
Downstairs, Key had
basketball. But when you say freedom of movement, you can't put your hands on an offensive player, it's really hard to absorb contact. And I think that's what you saw.
Look at the stuff. Kyle Young, who is out today. Chris Holtmann hopes that he can come back possibly during this homestand. Branham, the freshman, on the drive. Offensive rebound off the miss from Malachi. Branham in the reload for 3.
Well, he knows offensive rebound, look to the three-point line. If you can get Justin Arns going and shooting the basketball with confidence, it makes you a better team. You have a floor spacer, someone that keeps the defense honest. Without that, I'm not sure where the perimeter threat is from Ohio State yet.
Yeah, they're without Dwayne Washington, who's off to the NBA. C.J. Walker has left, and there's a 3 from guard.
Teams have done a good job of teaching players how to wall up. And officials have done a good job not calling an automatic foul.
Yes. Arms catch and shoot, buries another one. Is out to cheer them on.
I mean, I never thought we'd celebrate mop people being back, but sure.
Missouri, and he could be an important guy.
He made 127 field goals, not one was a 3. Right. Toughest shot possible. Everybody thinks defense is about stopping the team from taking a shot. No, you just want to force the toughest shot possible. And that time, good defense for Akron.
Turned it into a defensive rebounding situation, one and done. Little one-hand shot is good for Tripp.
Has a confidence and a swagger that Ohio State needs to slowly chip away. And they can do so with their patience and their physicality. But this is an Akron team that has good physicality and athleticism as well. Trying to force turnovers, it's just pressure to be disruptive, take you out of your offensive rhythm, or keep you from finding.
Zed Key has 6 early for the Buckeyes. Branham, the freshman, got it inside, and Key again.
That shouldn't. I mean, the greatest shooters out there, they keep letting it fly. If they can catch in rhythm, they can get shot ready, then it's a good shot. He's the kind of guy where you got to close his window early, force him off the line.
Woof. He just pickpocketed Arns and Trimble into the lane for 2. Nicely done.
I mean, that's these great matchups, and truth be told, whoever wins, whoever loses, doesn't really matter as much. It's all about what you're building for in March.
Key again, no. Second chance for Justice Suing is Key again trying to pivot out of a triple team. Eugene Brown won't take the shot. Here's Liddell for three, and a line drive goes down. So he shouldn't take Billy Joel's defensive advice. Ali, don't you go downtown? Should have gone downtown.
Talking about Billy Joel earlier.
KJ Walton to the rim for two. Been die with those.
Of course you did.
Thank you.
You and Twitter.
Great. Glad to be in that boat. Here's Liddell off the feed from Wheeler, and Liddell pumps up another mid-range jumper, which
that's up to E.J. Liddell to actually adapt to the personnel on the floor, and he's the type of guy who's played with a lot of
cover that and Othello. Liddell hit.
It's not about stopping the basketball. It's not about getting the turnover, picking up the steal. Look at
Oh, Dr. Liddell again. He has 8, and there's another steal for Ohio State and Key. And here come the Buckeyes. Arns got closed out in the corner. Here's Branham, the freshman, who they really like. Oh, a punch out beautifully by Liddell for the second chance. First points for Branham.
I mean, how long has Holtman been at Ohio State? This is 5th season, if I'm not mistaken.
5th year, yep.
And this guy's played for him elsewhere. It's crazy how many journeymen we now have in college basketball.
Yeah, we basically have Rex Hudler
for 6 years.
That's right.
To figure that out, the fact that he gets to come here and hear a familiar voice.
I mean, he was 7.5 and 3.5 points and rebounds in 2019 for Indiana, and I think he's going to get that foul here.
For dynamics with their personnel groupings. I mean, Jamari Wheeler's a total wild card in so many ways. You know what you're going to get from him, but you have to figure out how it impacts everybody else, how it makes you better, what groups are better with him on the floor, and Joey Brooks another one where you just have to figure out different personnel groups.
He's got what's called vestibular dysfunction.
And we talked to Chris Holtman about it. I mean, this guy goes hard in every situation on the basketball court.
They missed him in a major way when Oral Roberts beat them in the tournament last year. Here's Brunk. A hedge on him. Brunk off the spin, goes with the right.
That was so good, Jason. And he shows, and you pick up the basketball. He didn't pick up the ball. He kept his dribble, was able to get himself an open look. That's high-level basketball right there.
So Brunk's 2 makes it a 12-point game, and that free throw is no good. So the rebound for Joey Brunk. It's Ohio State by a dozen in their season opener in a series that dates all the way back to the early 1900s. Akron's only win against Ohio State was in 1913. It was 21-19. We've already beaten that, and Joey Brunk.
What's the things that we look at as limitations give us opportunities? So he may not have the athletic ability to just blow by somebody, but if you use ball fakes, eye fakes, head fakes, hand fakes, whatever you've got, you're going to keep the defense off balance, and a defense that's off balance gives you opportunity.
He came over to help there on the drive from Clark, but he missed a couple early, and it seemed like it took him out of his game a little. Arns lost the ball. Here comes Akron trailing by 12. Freeman won't shoot that. Here is Ali from the wing. Off the spin, Ali over Russell. Driver on that last possession. Wheeler missed. Rebound for Akron. Shot clock went off, but here come the Zips. Hard drive, 2 and a foul for Walton and Akron. So
Casket.
A couple of times. Check that. It was actually a technical foul. Foul on Trimble, and the free throw is good.
You guys tend to make a statement with it. You can almost live with that. Coaches do that.
You do it than one of your players.
No, that's what I mean. It needs to be a coach. Coaches are the only ones allowed to get the red card technical.
Shot clock off. Suing fires for 3. No. Front iron, and the rebound for Clark. That gives Akron an opening here, down by 8. Clark the pull-up, and he missed it. Boy, Ohio State gave Akron an extra possession there that was not necessary. But this first half belonged. First half, 15 out of 30, 3 for 6 from 3, very efficient. And it's Akron with the ball, trying to keep in this ball game in the opener this year. Nice little pass down the lane line to Freeman from Ali for the opener. Akron in the first half. You got the first one here in the second half. And see what Ohio State has as an answer. It's a catch and shoot for Liddell that's short, and the rebound does go to Akron. So it's a 6-point game. The Zips looking to cut that in half, and they do on the open.
I'd rather play against a defense that is not set than allow Ohio State to get set defensively.
And there's more defense from Akron there on the post try from Key. So Akron now with a 3 to tie. Castaneda and Akron. It was a 4. Yeah, well, you didn't even do that. You just buried me. So great.
I was too busy cringing.
We're tied at 36. Ohio State outscored 8-0 in the second half, and Liddell grinds for 2.
All right, is he a big? He's guard forward. Even then, you've got to be able to shoot from the perimeter.
No, but I mean, even if you're 6'3", 6'4", and you're not a shooter, I guess I should have just said everybody's telling non-shooters to be shooters.
Yes, yeah, you better be. Because if you're not a shooter, then you're not helping spacing. If you're not helping spacing, then it's a lot harder for your teammates. It's not that much harder for you.
Walton off the shot fake and a whistle on the and UCLA against Villanova, who put the hurt on the nose.
Yeah, is Cincinnati going to make the college football playoff this year? And the power conferences are that much tougher throughout the course of the season. Can't we have both? At some point, just hope adults make a good decision down the stretch.
Yeah, Cincinnati content.
I don't know if I see it.
Free throw. So we'll see if the Buckeyes can make it through there with their one loss. Bullet feed down low, denied twice. Key punches it out. And here is Ali into the lane for 2. It's a 3-point game.
The know when to let the ball move and be patient. For Ohio State, you need to string together that good defensive possession with a good opportunity on the offensive end, but not having Liddell in the game has been a problem. To have people around you that you trust, yeah, that goes a long way in their identity. I mean, like, you start to think about what you're building, you're really a CEO. Developing good relationships with your players, right? Maintaining good relationships with your other coaches. It's, you know, by the way, you also have to recruit. I mean, it's a brutal job. I don't know if you have good footwork, you've got to have opportunities to score. Just got to be fast.
Opportunity there, didn't see the ball, didn't get to him. And Suing misses wildly. Oh, up ahead, wide open layup for 2 for Walton, and it's a 1-point game.
Yeah, it's just not a good lineup from a rhythm.
Liddell out nearly 5 minutes now with a 3rd personal foul. And you're going to get a block. Branham with the bump.
Have to develop as the season goes on, but just a tough lineup for Ohio State, and I think that's something Chris Holtman and staff are going to be watching very closely. Who can play well together?
Yeah, they don't really have a feel for that as yet, as Liddell just barrels into the lane for 2 more.
Yeah, you could just do.
Branham soaring for the rebound, and he turned it over. Walton the dish. And Akron will spin it back out top. That 3 is around and in for Trimble, his first make, and we are tied.
Yeah, that's not the guy you want to lose. Score tie.
Their best 3-point shooter, his first 3-point make of the season, and now a juggle by Johnson just to recollect. Ohio State is out of sorts again. Step back on a line drive. Liddell has been the fixer all night long.
So Liddell's been great. And that's one player who's really taken over this basketball game on the offensive side for Ohio State, but really no consistency on the offensive end.
That's a shot Walton has made throughout his career. That was inaccurate as the ball did hit the rim, and Ohio State has it. Whatever it is, he's a big dude, and he didn't get to the program until January of last year because of pandemic travel. He couldn't get over to Akron, so he's not been around very long as Liddell misses. A big rebound for the Buckeyes, and Brown.
Might as well all just play together.
If you haven't seen it, just Google Jokic and Morris, and you will see what we're talking about. There was a big old fight last night in the NBA, and now the Jokic brothers are tweeting at the Morris brothers Late in the shot clock for everybody. It's a three for Castaneda. Wow. Oh, it deadened off the back of the rim.
But if you keep the game close, those are the opportunities you have.
Whistle down low, the fighting between Ali and get.
Like, it's just died. It's so hard in Liddell right now with Liddell being that aggressive. I would rather go Bandego on Liddell when he wants to. Just have to follow that matchup.
We will see next time Ohio State touches the ball. Here is Ali. He was shot ready and he scored.
I like that on offense. He continued to attack.
How about the amount of time Branham's got in his first game as a collegiate player? Liddell, no.
Yeah, Branham's one of those guys they have high hopes for, too, so you want to get him good time.
Takeaway there for the Buckeyes, and we have a whistle right at midcourt. Wheeler wanted to throw up that shot to see if he could get free throws out of the deal. The transfer from Penn State, Jamari.
Fouls in the game.
I get it, too. But we see that all the time in college.
Pressures differently, right? They force you into your secondary, your secondary option, right? They're not going to give you your first shot. They're going to force you into what you don't want. And shoot, if you're going to give that up, you might as well take it.
Ohio State is 24% in the second half. They have a total of 16 points after 36 in the first half.
Got to switch now.
Branham cans a jumper for Ohio State to tie the game.
And he's a guy, if you get him going, he could be more of an alpha as the season goes on. That's a number 22 he had to request to wear.
That's right. In the ESPN 100, he was number 32 in the country. 21 points a game as a senior in high school. Ali got Branham in the ear, and he used the freshman. That
weird poise to this team, and with that poor season. But, you got to think other MAC teams are looking at this pieces. 1,001 games played with guys on this team.
Wow, great defense by Freeman on Liddell. And we have a whistle on the ensuing action. But that's what you're talking about.
Players have. They're able to control themselves enough to contest the shot.
Yeah, it's really impressive. And we are tied at 57.
Like Ohio State would be more of a second-half team as they figure out who they are together, but not the case here against Akron.
Crowd getting into it now. About 10 to shoot. Castaneda turned it over. Liddell and Ohio State the other way. 4-2 and a foul.
They'd get Justin Arns back in the action as well.
8 from Columbus. Trimble, mid-range, didn't have it. Ali snuck in behind for the lead. Yes, Akron takes the lead 60-59, and one timeout left only for the Zips. Ali from the hip for two.
Wow.
Again, this is going to be a top 5 team in the MAC. According to the preseason poll, they are 4th in the Mid-American Conference. Liddell nearly gave him the chicken wing there. Key clears out and stuffs it. Now, Walton thought he got shoved.
When he's had position, holding position. Now, can you get a defensive stop? I really think it comes down to Jamari Wheeler be that communicator defensively to get guys locked in.
Freeman into the lane, whirling, 2, miss. Second chance, no, and the rebound for Branham.
He had a great opportunity there on the stick back, just rushed it, had time to just gather and go back up. Good opportunity here for Ohio State, but the offensive possessions have not looked good.
Branham against Ali. Branham scores. There's a guy who wants the ball in the
right. You've got to have that guy that seeks out the Dwayne Washington, right? That one was obvious. And Branham is likely that guy.
Crowd electric in Columbus. Ali with a foot fake on Liddell, who's got 4 fouls. Ali into Liddell. He ends up on the ground and recovers with 3. Ali steps into it and missed it just short. The rebound hauled in by Key.
It was good defense by Liddell, trying to keep his hands off as much as possible, forcing them.
And now Branham asking for the basketball.
Trying to get Liddell down low.
Branham dips the shoulder, goes again, and he misses.
Wow.
There's the follow for Key with a muscular 2. 65-60. Washington in that way early on in his Ohio State career. Now, will Ohio State maybe think about fouling late in the clock?
Yeah, depends what you practice.
10 to go, Ali. Steps back into a 3. Oh,
And they caught a foul!
And he made the basket! That's unbelievable!
Are you kidding me? He clears out, you know he's shooting the 3. I mean, we've talked a lot about, look, point of emphasis this year, it was
for the lead for Akron. Defense into the backcourt. Ohio State has 1 timeout left, 6 seconds for the Buckeyes. It is Johnson up the sideline, and there is the timeout.
It's a long pass to get down into the paint.
Arns with Bandego on him. It's Branham, a bullet into Key, and he scores! Zed Key puts it in! There may be time remaining. The celebration is premature. Maybe Ohio State by 1.
This is kind of like, I don't want to put him in this category, Jordan in the Garden, right? Draw defense, dump it down to Will Perdue or whoever it was at that time. Great read by Branham. I give Branham all the credit in the world as a guy who wants to make it happen.
A couple of championship contenders in the Big Ten this year, including Purdue. Ohio State may have just survived. Off the catch, this goes ringing around, and the Buckeyes win 67-66, sidestepping danger at the horn.